I feel privileged to have all you guys here to witness my 1 year milestone. I just want to thank Caleb for stepping in at the last moment. I was told that I should have contacted Josh, but I didn't contact him. I'll give you a brief history of my life, whatever. I had a normal upbringing. Like grew up in Benoni, younger sister, older sister, dad. Decent house. Like we were renting, but then eventually, we built our own place, and I still got shut on in my life story for going into so much detail on how we sort of. It was a plot. It just felt that, and then I dug the foundations, and I went into a bit too much detail there. I got a bit of flack, but it's actually a big part of my life because it was us as a family. Like it was our first house. And to me it was a big thing. And I went to like a normal school. I did feel a bit left out, sort of I wasn't very sports orientated, but I did do the sports that were required of me. And then my late had got a transfer up to Durban. He got a job in Durban, so I moved to Durban, moved to the Bluff, and I always liked the sea and fishing, etc. And moved to us in the Bluff. It was about 10 or 15 minutes walk down to Treasure Beach, which is just like south of Anstey's in Brighton, and I was in my element. I mean, I done half of standard 6 in Benoni, and then did that, and then I finished the other standard 6 at Northlands High, and then we moved to the Bluff, and like it was 6 weeks just every day going to the beach fishing. It was an absolute gas. And that time my late dad, he had a senior job in the government. He was a machinery inspector. He was an engineer. And like it was a normal life, but then it got to a stage like he was drinking too much, and there was a lot of sort of coming home drunk and all waiting for him, and then there was mum and dad swearing and carrying on, and I can actually like vividly remember it. I thought to myself I don't want to be like that, sort of. I don't want to drink. I don't want to sort of. I was into my fishing and. Etc. And then I finished my schooling. I matriculated. I worked for Telkom. And if you work for Telkom, you don't go to the army. I worked there for like almost 2 years, but I wasn't happy. They wouldn't give me a transfer. I was stuck in like an old telephone exchange. Like the wires I was a people technician, and the wires they called it paper installation. The wires were still covered with paper. I mean, that's generations back. And I wouldn't get my transfer, so I actually resigned, and then I started the trade as an electrician, apprentice electrician. I worked there a year, and then the army called me up. Like in those days, if the army called you, like you had to go. It doesn't matter whether you're working, whether you're married with kids, like you had to go. So I did my year's military training at Ladysmith. We went to the Namibia, South Africa, the old Southwest. We went there for like 7 months. Didn't see action, just patrolled and just made sure that there was like a 1 kilometer between Angola and Namibia. It was like a 1 kilometer strip, which was called the Yati. It was like no man's land, and like nobody was allowed there. And we had a patrol to make sure that the Angolans weren't coming in to recruit people from South Africa and Southwest Africa or Namibia. Anyway, then the military training finished. I got back home. I still stayed with my folks at the time. And at that time, my dad's drinking, like it was, like he was like. He was a strong-willed person, but he just chose bad company. And I can still remember, like we were still all sleeping as a family, and bang on the door. It's one of his mates coming to sort of take him out, like, like to get a beer or to drink. And then eventually, like 3 or 4 months later, like he actually gassed himself. And I thought, nah, gee whiz, and then my little world collapsed. Like sort of, wow me, like what have I done to deserve this? And then, look, in those days, I was like going out now and again. Oh, I got drunk a few times. I smoked a bit of grass. And then when he passed away, like, so my little world collapsed. And I thought, like, why me, why me? And if I just reflect back, like the hard time he gave us as a family, and like I still said, like I will never do what he did. But eventually, and then my little drinking and grass escapade started. I was caught like a few times for drunken driving. I actually got 18 months imprisonment for drunken driving. I said 14. And like prior to this, I met a girl, I had a daughter, and now I was in prison for 14 months. And if I reflect back, it should have been like such a giant lesson to me, like sort of don't drink and drive. But I came out, I organised a job, and I had a granny flat, so everything was normal, or I also perceived as it to be normal. But then I was drinking socially, or I accepted socially, now and again getting a bit out of control, but like I knew that I shouldn't drink. I mean, like, so I was in prison for X amount of time, and that should have been like a giant lesson to me, but it wasn't. And then my life carried on, and then I was convicted again for DND, and I went to a government rehab in Mkhaliswaard near Pretoria for 7 months, but it should have been even a worse deterrent. And then eventually, I came out of there and I tried to carry on with my life, but then my ex I just couldn't take this. I was supposed to be responsible. I told her not to work. And eventually, like she had to find work again. And then just, and I sat clean for like for many years. But then once again I picked up, and once again I was convicted of DND. My license was suspended for 5 years. But like now, you know, I should have realized my life was completely out of control. But the thing is, I still wanted to use. I went to, they were both voluntary. I went to 2 other rehabs in Durban, like both of them 3-week courses. And just my blatant ignorance and self-centeredness, I would stop. I'd come out. I stopped for a period, and then I just go back to my old ways. And then eventually, this was like say 3 or 4 years ago. I had my own place. I wasn't supporting myself. My sisters were supporting me. But like I wasn't using. I was doing my meetings, and then I applied for my old age pension. And eventually, like when it came through, and I got this, and I don't know about it. But like I went and bought a 5-litre wine. And anyway, I got my sister phoned, and she says, "Oh, you've been boozing, eh?" I said, "Oh yes, I have." "Oh, yes. Like you're going to be here." And she made some inquiries with her and my niece, and eventually I arrived at the house on the hill. I didn't know like what to expect, but like on arrival, and I was a week sober like when I got there, and then we started the steps, and I just found that like at this previous rehab, they went through the steps, but like they probably went through all 12 steps in like a day or 2. And they at the house in the hill, I think the norm for a person to do these steps is maybe 4 to 6 months, but like I took about 10 months. And just in hindsight, I just see that I didn't procrastinate. a bit, like, and like I said, keep it simple. I wasn't actually keeping it simple. Like I was going into like too much detail on my steps. And I just think now that like sort of over a year sober, I've been once in my life. I was even like 7 years sober, but I can see now that I was a blind drunk. I was sort of I've always driven like an idiot, and I used to just get to stage like I just drive so fast, and even people in the car or my ex would say to me, like, goodness me, like, why are you driving like this? And I'd sit down for a while. I could just see that, like for years, like I was a dry drunk. But just doing the steps, I mean, like especially like sort of step one, like just realizing that that we have this disease, and we must hand it over to God. It's just given me like so much strength just to like persevere each day. And if I have got problems, I can use the steps to sort of like to work my problem out. And like normally, and like I always thought, like I didn't have a part, but now doing my like step 5 with Keith, and I think I had 13 resentments, and like I boiled down to, and like he said, like you only get 1 resentment. I was like, what do you mean? It's just like so all the other resentments, they just aren't, like it's nonsense. I just feel very privileged to share here. Thanks everybody for being here. Every one of you, or especially the guys I was in treatment with, you all had a part in my recovery. Thanks very much.